Welcome back to Talk About It in English.
Today, we are going to build an emergency script for the most stressful 30 seconds of your workday.
Picture this. It is Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Your computer finally finishes restarting. The screen connects and 3 international colleagues are staring at you in total silence. You panic, your face gets hot, and you blurt out, sorry I late, my computer is bad.
I used to do this all the time. Every time I said, sorry, I am late, I felt like a child making excuses to a teacher, and my broken grammar just made me look less competent than I actually was.
But fluent speakers do not do this. In the next few minutes, we will learn the 3-step gratitude, reason, action framework, so you can walk into any delayed meeting sounding totally in control.
That feeling of logging into a meeting when you know people have been waiting for you is universal. Your heart starts beating a little faster while the loading wheel spins. You know you're holding up the schedule. And because your brain is dealing with that stress, all of your advanced English vocabulary just disappears.
Exactly. When we're stressed, we revert to the absolute basics. For most English learners, the absolute basic default is the word sorry. You enter the room, you feel guilty, so you just start repeating apologies. You say, sorry, I am late. I'm so sorry. My internet was disconnected.
And the problem is not just the grammar, although we often drop the verb and say, sorry, I late, which instantly signals to the room that you are a beginner. The bigger problem is the psychology of the apology. When you profusely apologize for being 3 or 4 minutes late to a routine meeting, you actually make the situation much more awkward for everyone else.
That is such an important point. Think about what happens when you say, I am so sorry. You force the other person to respond to your apology. They have to pause the meeting, look at you, and say something like, oh, that's okay, or no worries. You've accidentally forced them to comfort you, which wastes even more time.
I remember a specific moment early in my career that completely changed how I viewed this. I was in a conference room with a few junior employees waiting for our department director. He was about 10 minutes late, which is a fairly long time in a busy office. I was expecting him to rush in, out of breath, and give us a long apology about his schedule or the traffic.
What did he do instead?
He walked in calmly, put his notebook on the table, looked at us, and said, "Thank you for your patience, everyone. I was held up on a client call. Let's get started." It blew my mind. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He didn't sound weak. He took immediate control of the room, and within 5 seconds, we were completely focused on the work. No one cared that he was late because his energy was so confident.
That's the exact energy we're going to give you today. You do not need to be a department director to use this communication style. You just need the right phrases. We're going to replace the weak, panicked apology with a structure that fluent professionals use every single day. We call it the gratitude, reason, action framework.
Let's break down the very first step. Step 1 is gratitude. Instead of apologizing for your mistake, you thank the other people for their good qualities. You thank them for waiting. But we're going to upgrade your vocabulary so you sound incredibly natural. Instead of saying, thank you for waiting, which is fine but a bit basic, we're going to use a fantastic native phrase.
The phrase is, thanks for bearing with me. Let me say that one more time, slightly slower. Thanks for bearing with me. This is a brilliant phrase. The phrasal verb to bear with someone means to be patient with them while they are doing something difficult or while they're causing a slight delay.
It's such a warm, professional expression. When you say, thanks for bearing with me, you're acknowledging that the other people experienced a slight inconvenience, but you're framing it around their kindness rather than your failure. It's a subtle psychological shift, but it makes a massive difference in how you're perceived.
Let's look closely at the pronunciation because there's a tricky combination of sounds here. The word with ends in a th sound, and the word me starts with a m sound. When you say with me quickly, it can feel like your tongue gets tangled. Thanks for bearing with me.
A great way to practice this is to isolate those two words, with me, with me. Notice how your tongue comes slightly out between your teeth for the th, and then your lips immediately close together for the m. With me. You don't need to push a lot of air out for the th sound. It's very soft. Let's try practicing just that part. I'll say it and you repeat it out loud. With me.
Now let's add the word bearing. Bearing with me. The stress is on the first syllable of bearing. Bearing. Bearing with me. Let's shadow that piece together. I want you to speak right after James gives the prompt. Focus on making the rhythm smooth.
Ready? Repeat after me. Bearing with me.
Great. Now let us try the whole phrase. Thanks for bearing with me. Notice that native speakers usually drop the formal thank you and just say thanks in this context. It sounds more conversational and less dramatic. Thanks for bearing with me. Let us do a shadowing round with the full sentence. I want you to try to copy my exact tone. Your voice should sound calm, friendly, and completely relaxed. You are not panicked. You are just saying hello to colleagues.
I will give the prompt. You repeat out loud. Thanks for bearing with me.
Let us do it one more time. Imagine you just sat down in your chair, you turn on your camera, you smile gently, and you say it.
Thanks for bearing with me.
Excellent. That is step 1. You have successfully entered the meeting without begging for forgiveness. The room feels calm. Now we move to step 2. Step 2 is the reason. You need to explain why you were late, but you must do it quickly and professionally.
This is where so many learners make their second huge mistake. They start telling a long, complicated story. They say, I'm sorry, my internet router was blinking red, and then I called the internet company, but my phone battery died, so I had to plug it in. By the time you finish the story, another 2 minutes have passed.
Exactly. No one needs the technical details of your morning disaster. They just need a brief one-sentence category for the delay. To deliver this, we are going to teach you one of the most useful phrasal verbs in business English. The phrase is, I got held up by.
Got held up. This is a perfect alternative to saying I was delayed or I was late. When you say I got held up, it creates a visual image of something physically stopping you from moving forward. It implies that you were trying to get to the meeting on time, but an external force grabbed you and made you stay. It removes a lot of the personal blame without sounding like you're dodging responsibility.
Grammatically, it is a casual passive structure. Instead of saying, traffic delayed me, which sounds like a robot, or I was delayed by traffic, which sounds like a formal news report, we use the verb get. I got held up by traffic. It is casual, natural, and incredibly common. Let us look at how to pronounce it, because the words connect very tightly.
Yes, the T at the end of got connects directly to the H at the beginning of held. In fluent, fast speech, native speakers often drop that H sound entirely. So instead of got held up, it often sounds like get held up. But you don't need to force that immediately. Let's just focus on linking held and up. Held up. Held up.
Let us try shadowing just that verb phrase. Got held up. Say it with a slight sigh in your voice, like you are a busy person dealing with a busy day. Repeat after me. Got held up.
Good. Now we need to finish the sentence with a specific reason. We're going to give you 3 plug-and-play endings for this phrase. You can memorize these 3, and they will cover 99% of the reasons you will ever be late for a meeting.
The first ending is for technology problems. Whether your computer restarted, your software crashed, or your internet died, you do not need to explain the details. You just say, I got held up by a tech issue. It's broad, it's professional, and everyone instantly understands. Let us practice shadowing that whole sentence. I got held up by a tech issue.
Listen to the rhythm. I got held up by a tech issue. Notice how the voice drops a little bit at the end of the sentence to show that the issue is over and resolved. Now you try it out loud. I got held up by a tech issue.
The second ending is for when another meeting or phone call runs longer than expected. This happens constantly in the corporate world. You simply say, I got held up by another call. It actually makes you sound important and in demand. You are a busy professional handling multiple priorities. Let us shadow this one. I got held up by another call.
Ready? Repeat out loud. I got held up by another call.
The third ending is for when you are going to a physical office and the transportation is bad. You say, I got held up by traffic. You do not need to talk about the train schedule or the car accident on the highway, just traffic. Let us shadow it. I got held up by traffic.
Repeat out loud. I got held up by traffic.
Now you have step 1 and step 2. Let's put them together and see how they sound. You join the Zoom call, you smile, and you say, thanks for bearing with me. I got held up by a tech issue.
That sounds so incredibly professional. It's night and day compared to, sorry, I'm late, my computer is bad. You've acknowledged their patience and you've provided a valid, brief reason for the delay. You're completely in control of the narrative. But we're not finished yet. We need the final piece of the puzzle to truly take command of the room.
That brings us to step 3. Step 3 is the action. The absolute best way to stop wasting people's time is to stop talking about being late and start doing the work. You need a transition phrase that shifts the focus away from you and onto the agenda.
If you just stop talking after your reason, there will be an awkward silence. If you say, I got held up by another call, and then just stare at the camera, the other person still has to figure out who should speak next. You want to make it easy for them. You want to lead the transition.
To do this, we use an action-focused idiom. The phrase is, let's dive right in. I love this expression. It creates such a strong visual. Imagine standing on the edge of a swimming pool. You do not walk down the stairs slowly, you jump head first into the water. When you say, let's dive right in, you are saying, let us start working immediately with high energy.
It is a fantastic leadership phrase. Even if you are the most junior person in the meeting, saying let's dive right in shows that you respect the group's time and you are ready to contribute. Let us look at the pronunciation because the rhythm here is very punchy and energetic.
The phrase connects beautifully. Let's dive right in. The V at the end of dive connects to the R of right, and the T of right connects to the I of in. Dive right in. The biggest stress is on the word right. Let's dive right in. The word right here just means immediately.
Exactly. You could just say, let's dive in, but adding right gives it that extra sense of urgency and enthusiasm. It completely erases any lingering awkwardness about being late. Let us do a shadowing exercise with this phrase. I want you to sit up straight in your chair right now. Seriously, adjust your posture. Take a breath, and I want you to say this with confidence and energy.
I will say it first, and then you repeat. Let's dive right in.
Try it again. Push the energy on the word right. Let's dive right in.
Brilliant. You now have all 3 components of the framework. Step 1, gratitude. Thanks for bearing with me. Step 2, reason. I got held up by a tech issue. Step 3, action. Let's dive right in.
Before we put the entire simulation together and test your muscle memory, I want to remind you that if you're finding these real-world scripts helpful for your daily life, make sure to hit the subscribe button right now. We build new, practical frameworks like this every single week so you can stop worrying about grammar and just focus on communicating. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson.
All right. Let us talk about how to deliver this full 3-part script smoothly. When you string 3 sentences together, the biggest challenge is the pacing. When people are nervous, they tend to rush. They speak as fast as humanly possible just to get the words out. They say, thanks for bearing with me. I got held up by another call. Let's dive right in.
Yes, the panicked speed run. It completely destroys the confident image you were trying to build. When you rush, your voice pitch naturally goes up and you sound anxious. The secret to sounding fluent is not speed, it is pausing. You need to put a distinct half-second pause between each step of the framework.
Let me demonstrate the correct pacing. Listen to where I breathe. Thanks for bearing with me. Pause. I got held up by another call. Pause. Let's dive right in. Those tiny pauses give the listener time to process what you said. It makes you sound thoughtful and completely undisturbed by the delay.
It also gives you a fraction of a second to think about the next sentence, which prevents you from stumbling over your words. Let us do a guided shadowing practice of the full script. We're going to build it up piece by piece. Do not worry about speed. Focus entirely on clear pronunciation and a calm, relaxed tone.
I will give you the first sentence, you repeat it. Then I'll give you the second. We'll pause at the end of each. Let's start. Thanks for bearing with me.
Now the reason. I got held up by another call.
And the action. Let's dive right in.
Let us try that sequence one more time, exactly the same way. Speak out loud wherever you are. This is how you build muscle memory. Thanks for bearing with me.
I got held up by a tech issue.
Let's dive right in.
Excellent. Now we're going to do something a little more challenging. We're going to run the full real-time simulation. This is the moment of truth. We're going to recreate the exact scenario from the beginning of this episode.
I want you to imagine you're sitting at your desk. It's 9:05 a.m. Your computer has been frozen for 5 minutes. The sweat is starting to form on your forehead. Finally, the Zoom screen flickers to life. The audio connects. I'm your manager, and Lily is your client, and we're staring at you through the screen. We've been waiting.
The moment you hear the imaginary Zoom connection sound, I want you to deliver the entire 3-sentence script out loud all by yourself, without me guiding you sentence by sentence. You'll say the gratitude, the reason, and the action. We'll use the reason, I got held up by a tech issue.
Take a deep breath. Visualize the camera turning on. Here we go. Beep. The meeting is connected. We are looking at you. Go ahead and speak.
Did you do it? Did you remember to pause between the sentences? Did you keep your voice calm and your shoulders relaxed? If you stumbled or forgot a word, do not worry. This is a safe place to practice. We are going to do this simulation one more time.
This time, I want you to imagine it is not a tech issue. Imagine you were on the phone with an important client and that call ran late. So your reason will be, I got held up by another call. Take a second to arrange the 3 sentences in your mind. Gratitude, reason, action.
The tension is building. The screen is loading. The camera light turns green. We are staring at you. Speak now.
Fantastic work. If you can deliver that script in your living room or in your car right now, you can absolutely deliver it the next time your computer decides to update exactly when you have an important meeting. You have effectively upgraded your professional communication.
I want you to write this exact 3-step script on a sticky note right now. Grab a pen and write, thanks for bearing with me. Held up by, let's dive right in. Put that sticky note directly on the edge of your computer monitor. Leave it there for the rest of the week. The next time you are late, you won't even have to think. The script will be right there waiting for you.
And once you have mastered how to join a meeting late, you need to know how to manage the conversation once you are inside. Click the video on your screen right now to learn how to politely interrupt someone in a meeting without sounding rude. That video will complete your virtual meeting toolkit.
You no longer have to fear making mistakes or wasting time. You have the words you need. Keep practicing, stay confident, and we'll see you in the next lesson.